I don't know why I feel so nervous to film this video. It's really unusual for me to like feel nervous when filming videos, but for some reason I just feel really like nervous. I don't know why. But social media is a highlight reel and I strive to break that even just a little bit with my bits of vulnerability here and there. Hi guys, it's Bree. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience with Pmdd and a little bit of autism, kind of like it's in there a little bit. So if you don't know me, hi, my name is Bree. It's nice to meet you. I make videos about my experiences here and there. Sometimes I do vlogs, sometimes I do concert vlogs when I go to concerts at times. So I share my experiences to help other people out, and so if that sounds like your thing, join our community that we have going on here. I would love to have you be part of it. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I want to document this for the sake of this video. I'm having a really rough time just like getting myself to film. I'm having a hard time like just speaking too. I don't know, like, I mean, I do know why. Obviously, the title of this video, I'm currently in that window of time, so I'm gonna push through it because I just want to talk about this topic because my hope is that it helps somebody out there, like my other content, right? So PMDD, I'm going to pull up the Google definition. Uno momento. Okay, Bree, that is not the definition. Oh my god, what is going on with my brain today? PMDD, which stands for Premenstrual Dysphoric Disorder, PMDD for short, is a severe, sometimes disabling extension of premenstrual syndrome. Premenstrual Dysphoric Disorder, PMDD, I'm not going to call it the full name because that's like a lot. Is a severe form of premenstrual syndrome that includes physical and behavioral symptoms that usually resolve with the onset of menstruation. PMDD causes extreme mood shifts that can disrupt work and damage relationships. Symptoms include extreme sadness, hopelessness, irritability, or anger, plus common premenstrual syndrome symptoms. Wow, that is a tongue twister. Such as breast tenderness and bloating. So I started to notice that something was off or wrong with my periods or that window of time probably in late 2022. I didn't get diagnosed until March 7th, 2025. That's kind of a big like chunk of time to go and to have those symptoms and not know like what's wrong. I just thought it was just my period, honestly. PMDD can show up 1 to 2 weeks before your cycle, your period. My last cycle was horrible. I was so angry, and my anger is never directed towards anybody. It's more like I don't have any like outbursts or anything, which is good. It's mostly like I keep it inside, but I get like irritable at people or like the presence of people or stuff like that, but I never have like any outbursts at people, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Usually it starts off like feeling really sensitive, and then it turned into anger with like a mix of sadness too. So I was really like up and down, and the sensitivity started probably like 9 or 10 days before my period. I really only have like probably like 3 to 7 amount of days where like don't feel any symptoms, where I feel good and I'm happy and I'm energized and I have motivation and I'm confident, all that good stuff. I start to notice my symptoms amp up around like week 2 before my period. So like my sensory sensitivity, for example, like my hearing will get really sensitive. I like almost always have to wear like noise canceling headphones around the house because I can't, like, I just literally cannot deal with any like outside noise or like my parents talking or anything like that, because like it's overwhelming, and like the sound of that makes me want to just cry. Sometimes like touch is an issue, so like hugs, or like for example, if my mom comes and like sits on my bed or something like that, or just like is in my space, kind of like in my bubble, I get really just like, I don't know, like irritated, and like I don't know, it's really weird. But I definitely noticed an increase in like my anxiety. I have physical symptoms, so like breast tenderness, achy abdomen, so not really like cramp, well I guess they could be cramps, I guess, but they happen like kind of on and off, like 2 weeks before my period, and then leading up to it, of where like the point where you would have normal like PMS. I noticed it then as well. But then like piggybacking off of that, I also get like achy down there, like, sorry if that's TMI, you know, down there, like inside. That happens around the same time, like before where the normal PMS starts, and it's kind of on and off, and so that's really like irritating. I have extreme fatigue, and I mean extreme fatigue. Like it is like so bad. Like I have low motivation, and like all in all, it's really hard for me to do anything really. After so many years in my childhood and teenage years of feeling like not validated, and early adulthood, and being put on like medication that, you know, would cause me medical trauma, in the sense of like being put on so many meds that like I didn't know what I was feeling, and like every time somebody would ask me how I was feeling, like I'd just be completely numb to it, and just be like put on so much stuff that like it was just insane, which I also believe was the cause possibly for me to be misdiagnosed with bipolar instead of autism. And I was diagnosed with autism almost 2 years ago now. Yeah, I was 24 when I got diagnosed. I didn't really put like my symptoms together at first. I really thought that I was going crazy, like, and honestly, I feel like it amped up my grief. And I really don't mean to like mention this in every video, but if you don't know, if you're a first-time viewer, I lost my birth mom to a suicide at the beginning of last year, and that's been really hard to deal with. So I feel like my grief has been amplified, just like it has also like amplified my suicidal thoughts as well. I mean, like a suicide grief is hard enough to like deal with, you know, but like I feel like in this time frame, like that's when I noticed that like, okay, like I'll get like, you know, thoughts here and there, and that'll be like really like sucky to like deal with, and to like try to like pull my brain like out of, you know. So yeah, that's just really hard to deal with, like, you know, on top of the grief. But I feel like this has multiplied my grief. So I found a different definition for it. PMDD is a severe form of PMS that causes emotional and psychological distress. It can be so serious that it can impact a person's daily life. Those with PMDD find normal activities such as work or school, exercising, or self-care difficult. It sometimes triggers thoughts of suicide and self-harm. So yeah, that last part is really, really difficult. And I had a chart that I was filling out for 2 months, just to like track my symptoms. And like once I brought it up with like my my doctor, I was like, hey, like I feel like I might have this. Is that something that like you can like look into, or like how does that work? And she was like, yeah, there's a chart that you can fill out, I'll send it to you. I filled out the chart, and I actually have it. I love that I have this like handy. So this is the chart. So it basically tracked the menses. It has a column for depressed mood, tension, mood swings, irritable, lack of interest, difficulty concentrating, appetite, sleep, lack of energy, and physical symptoms. So I basically like, it worked as like a number system. So like 3 being the worst and 1 being, you know, the lowest. So I had to track for 2 months and then like see her, and basically she was like, so she was gonna diagnose me with PMDD because I fit the criteria. And yeah, so she suggested that I get on some medication. So I'm hoping that that's gonna help with that. I guess we'll see how like that goes and stuff. So I'll keep you guys updated. And actually this PMDD is actually like really common in autistic women. So that's like why I wanted to talk about it, because I have autism and it is something that I struggle with. Like both of those things are something that I struggle with heavily. So yeah, and like for a while there, like I felt like I was going crazy and didn't know what was going on. And then I started seeing other people talk about their experiences and stuff, and I brought my concerns to my doctor, and I was really afraid to like bring my concerns about this, which is weird because it is essentially my health and my well-being, you know? Like if I'm having like suicidal thoughts like near like my period, like that's not normal. If I'm having like extreme like emotion and like anger and like heightened anxiety and sensitivity, like that's not normal. Like none of this shit is normal. So like I would have been like, if I hadn't brought it to her, like if I hadn't like felt comfortable enough to like speak up and like bring it to her, then like I don't know what the hell I would have done. But like it's, no, in all seriousness, like it's a real thing. So I don't know, just like if you're going through this, like know that you're not crazy. Like, it's not just PMS. You don't just need chocolate. I mean, maybe you do, but like, you know, chocolate's good. Don't let anybody tell you that you're crazy. Like, speak up for yourself, like advocate for yourself. Like, I know it's hard, and like, obviously I am not a professional. Like, find somebody that's gonna like listen to you. And like, I think like that's like really, really, really important to me, because I have gone like unheard and like not understood for like a lot of my life. Take the autism diagnosis, for example, the late autism diagnosis. And the thing is that like doctors are scary. The medical field is scary because like it can definitely cause trauma, and it can cause you to not wanna like go back, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making any sense. In my experience, I have not wanted to speak up about things in fear that like, oh, like she's just crazy, or like she doesn't know what she's talking about, or like it's just PMS. Like I, you know, like I said, like if I would have like held it off, I would have continued to think that I was crazy, continued to think that there wasn't like a reason that like I was feeling this way. So I'm glad that I did. So this is your reminder to advocate for yourself, to speak up, because your voice is important and your worth is important, and you're worth that much for getting yourself the help that you need. And if someone doesn't listen to you, like if some motherfucker doesn't listen to you, like move on to the next, keep going until you're heard, basically. And don't give up on yourself, because it's your health. It's essentially your health. Like it's essentially like your brain, your psyche, right? I think, is that the correct terminology? I don't know. It's you, and like if it's like affecting your day-to-day life, like if you can't get out of bed and you can't like, you know, do things to function and like whatever, like, because essentially it affects self-care as well. And I've definitely experienced that too. Essentially it is your health, and that's what it comes down to. I don't know, I just hope that like anybody that comes across this video just like know that you're worth it, and that you're worth speaking up and advocating for yourself, you know, getting the help that you need and the help that you deserve. Like it makes me like question like so much things. Like I'm now questioning like, okay, like is this why I feel like I have felt so fatigued in the past, as well as like right now too? You know, is that like the answer? I don't know, Because, like, I've read different things that, like, it's hormonal, but, like, also it can be, like, brought on because of trauma. If that's true, I have to do more research into that, but I have experienced a lot of trauma in my life, and I have just gone through, like, a big trauma with my mom passing away. So I think, like, that probably made it worse, possibly. I don't know. Just, like, know that you're not dramatic. Feeling extreme emotion, like, when I'm already a deep fucking feeler. Like, think of the normal PMS, multiply it by a big number, and then you get that. You get PMDD. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot. Just, like, hating everyone and everything, you know, temporarily. Just know that you are seen and heard and understood and validated by me. And just, you know, if you're not seen, heard, validated by doctors, just know that you are by me, and your struggles are valid, very valid. Like, it's a tough thing to go through. So I think also, like, trying to, like, give yourself, like, compassion, like, that's also another thing too that I'm really trying to work on. Just as my brain and body go through this, like, it is very real. You're not being dramatic. Your struggles are valid. Just please know that. And yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please know that you are worthy. You are loved. You are cared for. Somebody out there is rooting for you, and I love you. And stay strong. People want to see you do good. And if you don't have anybody, you have me. So that should count for something. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.